Well, this is probably the most fun I've had on trail in a long time. I'm sharing that with Nora.
Bonjour. We're in Geneva right now. We're going to Courmayeur today. And from Courmayeur, we're going to start the Tour du Mont-Blanc. And we're going from Courmayeur to Geants de Motet, which is about 14 miles maybe. We'll see. Half day. Very excited, and we have croissant.
Croissant and pain au chocolat. All right, we are all packed and ready to rock and roll. Doing Tour du Mont-Blanc, and I'm testing a few gear actually. Big bag, Ultra Spire, that will be needed of course because we need a lot of volume for 4 days. And some shoes I'm really stoked about trying. I love my Speed Goat. I got myself some Mafate? I'm not sure how you say it, but I heard they're really good, and you can see from the tread it's gonna be perfect for technical running. All right, we're heading out somewhere over there, I think. Let's go, Tour du Mont-Blanc! It's steep. Zero kilometer vacation. Tour du Mont-Blanc is pretty famous, but if you've never heard of it, it's about 170 kilometer going around Mont-Blanc, where you will go up and down and up and down and up and down a lot of mountains with absolutely gorgeous views of the Alps. In the bus to Courmayeur, where the driver was Italian, and then some Italian passenger came on board, and it's a assigned seat in the bus, and apparently the best spot is to be up front to the right, So they paid extra for the seats 1C and 1D, but the driver apparently, and his acolyte, because apparently there's someone with the driver, wanted that seat. So they switched the sticker with the number on it and they were arguing and shouting about where they should sit. It was very interesting.
Pull over there. Holy shit! So pretty! Buongiorno!
Buongiorno, signore, è piacere.
We are in the Italy part still, I think, of the Tour du Mont-Blanc. We are between Courmayeur and, say it in French.
I think it's Les Blanches.
Wait.
Grazie.
And we have been hiking for about a little under 5 miles, a little over 3,000 feet of gain, and it's beautiful!
Five kilometer. It's a good exercise. It's interesting because as we climb further, we can see deeper into Valle d'Aosta, which is where I'll be playing for about a week.
They're so cute.
We've only really done one climb and I think we're not even done. But so far, Tour du Mont-Blanc really does not disappoint. It's exactly what we were hoping for. It's gorgeous view, gorgeous trail. $10K, it's so gorgeous. And sheep. So this is probably Les Blanches. This is probably an aid station from UTMB. I guess they haven't undone it yet. What do you think?
It's just beautiful. Everything is beautiful.
You can see the Refugio. 15K, nice and cool. Almost at the top. We made it to Les Blanches. Now we're heading to des Glaciers, Ville des Glaciers, where we'll sleep for the night. The day is going great so far. We're feeling good, feeling relaxed, taking our time. It's so wonderful.
Okay, bonjour. Je suis Nora. This is the update with me. We've reached the top of the pass and
Lo pronuncio correttamente? Sì, corretto.
My wife is so badass, huh? 20 kilometers, it's so much fun. Well, this is probably the most fun I've had on trail in a long time. Both challenging, but not too challenging too. Like right now it's runnable downhill, but it's good climbs. But we're rewarded with such a dramatic landscape, dramatic valleys. I'm sharing that with Nora. This is so fun!
really happy. That's all. Day half is done for the first day out on the Tour du Mont-Blanc. We are at Geants and we just finished our first day, it's a half day today. It was incredible. It was beautiful, it was amazing. What surprised me most was the first climb. That was a little bit harder than I expected, and I think that really humbled me quickly. But as soon as we were done with that climb, then it just got into a really nice rhythm. But the views, as soon as you're above tree line, are just absurd, and they're good the whole way. Yeah, there's nothing about this that was overhyped. This is the most incredible trip ever. Let's gonna do it. Hi! Oh, hi, buddy! Yay!
He's gonna do it.
Yes! Amazing.
It was a fantastic day. I mean, I think we had high expectation for Tour du Mont-Blanc, and so far so good. It was absolutely gorgeous. A kick in the butt, some of the climb, but really, I mean, we have the legs for that, and it was not a big day also. I mean, it's one of the best trail running I've done in a very, very long time. And quite frankly, it just feels so good and so refreshing right now to not be racing and to just be in vacation, relaxing, doing just a little bit of mileage. You know, our biggest day will be 29 miles, which is really not that much. So it's a different mindset, and I think it's been long in the waiting to go with Nora in Europe to do that, and also to have something that is a little bit more relaxing. Just right now we're getting some beer, then we'll have dinner, then we'll sleep in a bed, a long sleep, probably like 10 hours. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, I can't remember doing that. All right, we're going for the night. Sleepy. I'm so tired. You're tired too, right? Tomorrow is a big day with a lot of climb, and we have a few routes that we need to pick. How did you sleep?
I fell asleep so quickly, so I fell asleep fast and well, and then woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't go back to sleep. I don't know. I was wide awake and ready to go at 1 a.m.
We should have gone.
We should have gone. Because we're headed to Rouge, which is about 26 miles away.
But in the meantime, there's a few mountain pass, a few cols that we'll be doing. By the way, if you are not French, col is pass, so now you know. And the first one we're gonna do is Col des Fours, and we might do also Tête du Nord, which is a summit that we could do that is close to the col.
25K. The sun is peaking.
We're doing Col des Fours, which is over there. We can see people climbing it right now. I think it's pretty close. We're doing good progress. The Mont Blanc is behind us. It's actually wonderful with the little river. It's so great. We should live here. Chocolate milk. These are brown cows, so they make chocolate milk. I think things are about to get real. Real climb. Col des Fours. Four can mean a lot of different things. It can be an oven, but it can mean also stuffed. And I think it's only Québécois. It can mean something like stuffing someone. $30K, it's always better.
Quick update. We did the first climb of the day over this pass. Lots of cows and lots of people.
Yay. We made it to Col de Four, but we cannot fool here, so we're gonna go at Bonhomme. Oh shit. All right, well, update with Simon. Not the update you want to provide, but Nora rolled her ankle pretty bad. It's very, very painful. We don't know if it's injured or not. We're still able to walk, but it's not one of those where you rolled it, it's painful for 5 seconds and it goes away. So, I mean, it goes to show one moment, you know, you're having a great time running downhill. We're not even running, we were walking, but it was pretty technical. And 1 second later, huge pain. Bonjour. I mean, yeah, I really don't enjoy seeing Nora in pain like this. She walks pretty normal right now, but I think she's focusing on her form. And it's sad. You know, we've been thinking about this trip for the longest time. We've been thinking about going in the Alps probably since the first year we met. And now finally we get this opportunity, a once in a lifetime adventure. So you wish it was an angelic thing the whole time, just feeling good, smiling. So that's the update. It's a huge bummer, and I hope you'll join me in wishing her, well, first wishing that it's nothing, and if not, wishing a prompt recovery. $35K, trouble in paradise. Immediately when she fell down, Nora had a scream that, knowing each other, I could hear immediately something was definitely wrong. We worked on her ankle, removing the shoes so we could put some compress, and immediately there was a major swelling very, very fast. You could visibly see it swelling. We've been coming down Col du Bonhomme for a little while. I guess the whole ankle story made us not make so many updates. It seems that it's still painful. At that point we still had some hope. Yes, it's bad, yes, it's painful, but maybe we'll get better by tomorrow morning. Or maybe we can take a day off tomorrow and then we can day the day afterwards.
My pulse, trying to land very well, under my body. Okay, 40 kilometers. Painful, but we got this. We've got this. We can do it. Painful, but hopeful.
All right, we've been walking on this path next to the river, kind of a road. It feels good to have something that is so easy to walk right now. I'm sure Nora appreciates also. And now we have to make a big decision as to the direction we're going. It's a complicated decision, so we still need some time to process. Either way, it is a great adventure, but with unfortunate twist to it. It's not raining also, which is good, but it is overcast. And I feel that's a little bit, maybe even poetically, how we feel. It's nice to be here, it's nice to be hiking, it's nice to be in vacation, it's nice to be in the Alps, but there's an overcast with obviously with the ankle and the pain. Well, I'm not feeling the pain, I think she is, but yeah, it's not a bright and sunny day like it was yesterday. Nice flowers. Do it.
Ah, I can't. Ah, pouf.
C'est mignon.
Mignon.
But say it.
C'est mignon. Des chiens.
We kept evaluating just how painful is it, and it varied a lot. And clearly the pain was always a 6 or 7, which is pretty high. And it was typically the worst when we were going downhill or when it was a steep uphill. But once we reached Les Contamines, it was flat, it was on pavement, or it was a very well-groomed trail, then the pain was lower. We made it up the Col de Vosa. And now we're gonna walk down towards Les Houches and rest and think about life. I'm very proud of Nora, and I'm very, very sorry that she's in so much pain. This isn't the day we were hoping for, so we had a lot of thinking, and who knows what's gonna be the next clip right now, but we saw beautiful things, we had a nice adventure, and yeah. So we went to bed, take as much sleep as possible. In the evening at dinner we put some ice, we used some ibuprofen to reduce the inflammation, and the next morning we just decided to try and see how bad it was. Definitely not feeling great this morning. I'm still not sure what we're gonna do, but what I do know is that on the long run we're definitely planning to come back here and plan more trips like that, because that's something I wanted to say before but I never got the opportunity, is I got into trail running from hiking and sharing miles with Nora, and I feel racing so much that it very often becomes about me, and Nora tags along and she's always putting herself second. So I think we should have more adventure together like this. But very quickly it was obvious that through the night stiffness came in, the adrenaline was gone, and it was extremely painful. But we turned around very fast because it was obvious that the right decision, unfortunately, was to pull the plug. We tested it so that we could know if it was a good idea or not to try, and it was clearly not a good idea. So what we decided is that we would take the train to go to the next Geants and so on until the end of Tour du Mont-Blanc. Once in Courmayeur, we had some time to rest, but the happy coincidence was family were gonna join us at Courmayeur.
Now it's all on the video, Mom. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Buon appetito.
Buon appetito, except for me.
Grazie.
So it's been about 10 weeks already. Nora's injury was indeed severe, it was a tear. She's been doing a lot of physiotherapy, we're going on little walks in the morning. Of course it's a long journey to recovery, of course it's a tough journey, but Nora is tough and she will get there. Well, this is not how I want the adventure to end, and it's tough to see Nora in pain like this, and we have many reasons why that was such an important epic adventure for us. It was not just like it's cool to do Tour du Mont-Blanc. It was way bigger than that. It's difficult to explain and also a little too personal, but yeah, it's really sad. I don't have the words, you know. We say things like, sure, we'll come back, and hey, maybe someday we'll come back, but it won't be the same. Yeah. Well, I hope she gets better soon, but emotionally it will always be tough. And kind of a sad part, for sure. Alright, well, here we go. Thanks for watching.